Hey guys, this is Karila. I'm with SDMETAL.com. We're here at the Dark Roots of Thrashport here at the House of Blues at Anaheim. I'm standing here now with Danny from 4ARM's. How's it going, Danny?
Very well.
Now you guys just played your set a little while after before Overkill. You guys kicked some major ass. So how do you feel that you did on the set?
Well, we did well.
Yes?
Well, we did well.
How are the crowds here as opposed to in Australia? Because even though Australia has an underground scene, you're probably a little bit more familiar with the venues and places there.
Definitely more familiar with the venues and places. As far as crowds, I'd have to say the American crowd is way outdoing Australian crowds so far.
Wow, okay. And this is your second time visiting the U.S., correct? And this is going to be your first time traveling across the entire U.S.
Yeah, we've never been out of California, so it is our second time. The first time we did a couple of shows in LA, a couple of shows in San Francisco, and then sort of home. So this is the first time we get to do the whole thing.
So what kind of things do you know, I mean, even in LA and San Francisco, are there things that stick out to you and it's kind of a culture shock to you? Or is it pretty much like...
No, I wouldn't say overly like, wow, that's different or anything like that. It's relatively the same sort of thing, you know what I mean? It's not too sort of overboard or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Now, it's pretty cool because you have played with Testament before. You only played in Melbourne during the Damnation tour. How does it feel now to be touring with them?
That's ridiculous. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure I wish it was like the fourth date. You'd have probably great party stories. Better be ready. I heard they party hard.
Yeah.
It's not ready.
It's an honour for us to be here. It's a dream come true. It's the sort of things that the reasons why we started playing music in the first place, way back when we were kids, was to do something like this. So dream come true story, really.
Absolutely. Now, what's it like traveling for you guys? That's got it. I mean, this is only your fourth date, but you must be winded because the flight from Australia is not exactly an easy one. Testament was a Bay Area. It was like they have it kind of easy. What's it like traveling for you guys? It's just exhausting.
It can be. It can be. It goes with it, though. I mean, you have to suck it up no matter what. If you're tired and cranky, bad luck. It's part of it.
Absolutely. That shows a lot of determination on your part.
Well, you can only do your best each night, you know what I mean? That's all you can do. You try and deliver your best for the people that are at the show, for the people that are around you, for your peers. We're all involved, you know what I mean? Even for yourself, you try and just deliver your best and do your best.
Absolutely, no matter what. Now, you guys recently signed to Rising Records for Submission for Liberty, which, for those of you who don't know, it was exclusively streamed on our site, on SDMETAL.com.
Right.
That's the only website where you can get it exclusively streamed.
It is.
We love it very much. Now, I loved this album. I've listened to Empires of Death, which was released back in, what was it, 09?
Yeah, I know.
And I noticed in this, I noticed a lot more in this album, the influences of earlier thrash metal bands. There's in your verse on Submission for Liberty, your title track, it sounds a lot like Metallica. A lot of Master Puppets Metallica. I hear a little Creator in there.
Yep.
Would that be safe to say those are some of your more solid influences going into this album?
I'd definitely say Metallica has always been an influence on us. It's sort of older school stuff, anywhere from Kill 'Em All to sort of even up to the Black Album. They were a big influence on me growing up. They were, big influence on the band when we started. It's definitely been Metallica. Testament are another huge influence for us. I've always said in every interview that I do that Alex Skolnick's my favourite guitarist of all time. Slayer are an influence on us. Most of the sort of thrash kings, I suppose you could say, are a big influence on the band. Not that we sort of try and take from our input as much as possible. Our influences do come through our music.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously your job is to have original material while not sounding like a replica of old master puppets Metallica, which you pull off very well, I must say. So another thing I noticed in Empires of Death, there's a lot, this album is just so lively. The production is incredible, and I noticed you give credit to Matt Hyde, who has been working really hard this year. He also produced Holy Grail's Ride the Void, which we have upstreaming as well.
Yeah.
But what other factors would you say have made you proud of 4ARM's growth and development? Like, it's really matured. What are some factors that have led to 4ARM's maturation?
I don't know, I'd put it down to sheer hard work, and it's like, take no shit attitude for a start, and never ever take no for an answer. Absolutely. Keep pushing, no matter, and it is one of those stories where you go, 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, and and everything's a learning process, and what's the best way to approach this, or how can we do this, and all those sorts of things. And yeah, you do get advice along the way from people who have already been in the industry for a long time and things like that. And you utilise that advice, as best you can, sort of thing. But it's more just hard work and determination, really. Just keep pushing, and especially if you've got a product that you believe in, then why not push? Absolutely.
What's one piece of advice that someone has given you since you formed the band that has really just, that you have applied in your head at every single show that will stick with you for the rest of your life?
Never be an amateur. Really. Always conduct yourself professionally.
Absolutely. That's so true, because people tend to lose that, especially with big bands who can get cocky and have an ego. It's always important not to do that. Now, like we said, you're inspired by a lot of Bay Area thrash bands, but one thing I want to ask is about your vocals.
Yeah.
Because even though you have a lot of, like, a similar music style in different thrash bands, you have a really nice fusion of singing and shouting. How did you come to develop this technique?
It wasn't a development at all, and I think it's one of those where I open my mouth and that's what comes out.
Wow.
It's not something that I'm trying to go for, it's just how I feel. It's how the music makes me feel, sort of thing, and that's what comes out, you know what I mean? It's to me, in my head and in my ears, that's what fits in the music, so that's what I go for, you know what I mean?
And you even mentioned in another interview, though, that when you first started singing, you weren't very confident in your voice at all. So how did you muster the confidence since now you're fronting a band?
Not at all. My dad used to tell me to sound like a dying cat.
Oh, that's not the nicest thing to get from your dad, is it?
But I think I bring it down to determination again. I'm a pretty driven person, pretty determined. I kind of set my mind on that. That's what I want to do. So yeah, I mean, eventually after doing it for long enough and that sort of thing, it kind of started to sound okay, I suppose. So
now when we wrap this up, I have an odd question for you, so I'm going to need you to use your imagination on this one. The only thing, I have a stepdad who's from Adelaide, and the only thing I'm really exposed to as far as Australia are the weird animals there. Now I'm prefacing it now. If you had to make a mascot for 4ARM's, metalizing one of your strange animals, what would it be? Like, to me, I started imagining this, and I was like, you know what? You could probably make, like, an echidna, like a corrosion of conformity sort of thing. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe a platypus, just because of how weird the damn thing is.
Yeah, the things are demonic. Yeah. From, like, lizards to, I think they're terrifying.
The hell is that thing? It doesn't make sense.
I can't imagine.
Maybe that, because a lot of people do that with the name of the band. What the hell is the name of the band? It doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah. Not a fluffy koala. That'd be an issue.
Cliche.
Danny, thank you so much for coming out here and talking with us. Submission for Liberty is here, streaming on SDMETAL.com, and we look forward to seeing you guys perform again. Good luck with the rest of your tour, and this has been SDMETAL.com.